Hi. I came up with this week's topic. It's about like policing your own identity or your own gender, and it comes up a lot for me as far as being like non-binary goes and not going into detail about that when someone's asking me about gender related things, talking with my family about it. I normally just emphasize, the not a girl part, and I really don't try to put emphasis on I feel like a boy, because that's not it at all. But I don't really like refute that idea, and a lot of it just stems from they're having enough trouble accepting me as presumably a trans boy, and so for me to be like, oh yeah, I don't have a gender at all, it just seemed like more confrontation and more of an argument type of, it was just something I really didn't want to go into. I'm going to be going on hormone injections in about a month from now. I'm like 4 months on androgel testosterone, which is like the gel you put on. When I switch to injections, I know changes will be a lot more noticeable, maybe a lot faster. I know I'm going to have to come out at school and at my work, and it's like, do I come out as non-binary or do I just come out as a trans boy? On one hand, you say non-binary and they, them, their, like gender neutral pronouns, and that way they can avoid gendering you or whatever. Because like when I first came out as trans to some of my friends, and I came out as sort of a trans boy, and I asked them to use he, like they never did. They only used my name or gender neutral pronouns. And then it's like, okay, well, now I realize I don't really have a gender and I'm agender. Now they only use like he and they don't really use gender neutral pronouns for me that much. And it's like, what happened? I missed the gender neutral pronouns. I feel like it's a safer bet to align myself with something that people know with like a binary gender, because like I'm also in the process of, I'm gonna be doing the paperwork in a few weeks to get my name legally changed and to change my gender marker. I think it's cheaper overall to change a lot of ID stuff one time than to change my name and then maybe a year down the line or something, then change my gender marker, and then I have to change all my IDs again to make sure they have, M on them. And even that feels like a policing of my own gender. I don't really want it that much, but it's like it would make certain things easier. The only issue I have with putting an M on my identity stuff is just for like medical reasons. If there was something that had to do with like fertility stuff or my reproductive organ stuff, like getting a hysterectomy or something. A hysterectomy is for health reasons that can be covered by insurance, like the surgery can be covered by insurance and stuff. But if you have an M, it's like, I don't know how, if you have to pay out of your own pocket. Or I spoke to a friend about it, and he's like, you should ask, your local clinic about that, or like people at your trans group, how insurance works once you switch your gender marker, which is a thing I'm gonna do in the future. That's a future me problem. Point is, anytime I emphasize being like trans boy versus trans person, it just feels like when I'm in like really masculine situations and I try to sort of pretend to be like them. Take the barbershop, for example. The times that I have gone, because like I cut my own I shave this myself, but the times that I have gone to the barber, don't wear my makeup. I make sure that I don't have like nail polish on my hands. I tend to put on a slightly, not necessarily more masculine outfit, because I don't know, all my clothes are kinda masculine, sorta. I don't know. Clothes don't have genders. Point is, I do a lot of like gender expression policing, and to come out as my actual gender and then that be invalidated, it's not that I don't think I can handle it, but it's just something that I want to keep to myself and keep it safe as something that only me and, you know, a few people that I trust know, who I know can take care of it properly. And I don't know if this sounds silly, like now that I'm saying it, I do a lot of self-policing of my own gender and not really allowing my whole self to come through and constricting my gender expression. A lot of it has to do with being invalidated because I have like a history of emotional abuse, so it's like where the fear comes from. Maybe I'll get to a point where I feel strong enough to have it out in the world and be a proud non-binary person. I mean, like, I have no problem wearing shirts that allude to such, but as far as talking about it in real life to people who are outside of the trans community goes, it's kind of... I honestly love my gender. I love being non-binary and it makes sense to me, and I wish I could express it with people and they react positively to it, but that's not always the case. And I guess I just would like people to send me good vibes so I can have confidence to share it with people and screw whatever negativity they have to say about it. Alright. Okay, I hope you liked my video. Comment it or whatever in the bottom part. Okay, bye!